All right, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Thespian coming at you with a new one, and today we are gonna talk a little bit about Guilty Gear. I know right now Guilty Gear is kind of in a weird place. Some people are still playing the game consistently, grinding it out. Some people are pretty much over it. They hate the game, if we're being frank, and some are dropping the game because they're just waiting for the Fun and Death patch that is going to be added in October. See how that changes the game. Me personally, I'm still a big fan of the game. I still play it, stream it every day over at twitch.tv/thespianlive. Definitely check us out there. And I mean, I still overall like the game. There are some things about the game that I'm like, scratching my head out. It's like, why? But today we're just going to talk about what Guilty Gear Strive is kind of like lacking. I basically boiled it down to three things that I think are like what's hindering Guilty Gear Strive right now, and that's basically balance, direction, and polish. So it's three really broad things, and I hope I can explain where I'm coming from with all three of them. Definitely want to hear what y'all think in the comments as well, but let's go ahead and jump right in. But before I do, just want to give y'all a reminder to give this vid a like and subscribe. Definitely helps the channel, and I appreciate the support. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the first topic I want to talk about, it's pretty much the broadest of the bunch, and it's balance. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk about, nerf X character, delete Soul, delete Leo, delete whatever character you hate, buff certain X character, because I don't use all the characters. Like, I'm not the person you want to talk to is like you want to get advice on what Eno needs, what Jacko needs, because I don't play those characters. What I want to really talk about balance is just the overall game. Like, from the beginning when Strive's betas were coming out, I had a pretty big issue with the game. I just felt that some of the characters were just playing a different game entirely. Like, perfect example is enemy number one, Soul. I feel that Soul is not even a Guilty Gear Strive character. I feel that that character is playing a different game entirely. And it's not just, okay, / broken, 6/ busted. It's just the fact that Soul has access to so many conversions and just so many layers of gameplay that aren't really available in the rest of the cast. Like, one of the issues where people are just like, oh, F Soul, broken, carries people, it discredits a lot of like the crazy Soul players like Punk and Deb, which are like just insane with that character, because all those 100% TOD combos that you see on Twitter, they're kind of hard to do. Like, for the super optimal Soul combos that use like 5k, just the sweet spot heavy DP, like, they're pretty hard. And it's just the fact that the game didn't do a good job explaining like everything about like the character mechanics, everything about like just the game in general, that people are just under the assumption that, okay, X character carries you. And to some extent, Soul is really impressive. I still think he's the best character in the game, not because he's like broken, does absurd damage. Most of the cast does absurd damage, but it's the fact that he's just playing a different game. Like, Soul is playing Guilty Gear 2.0. It's just kind of unfair, because once you play another character, it's like, why would you play Gold Lewis? Like, why would you play Faust? Like, you're just handicapping yourself at that point. This could be remedied once we get the October patch. They did alter some of the characters that were kind of an issue. I know they like nerfed Soul and Chip a little bit, and they basically buffed everyone else. Like, Eno got some good buffs, Faust got some good buffs, Anji got some really good buffs, and just made them basically playable in the game. Obviously, it's not enough, because I just feel that some matchups are just way too unfair and are just like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, why would you play this? This is something that I really won't go into a lot of detail with every single matchup. Definitely balance is an issue. It's not something that we can basically give 100% explanation out until the October patch comes in, because this will kind of tell us where the developers are coming from, what they want this game to be in the future, in future updates, and the overall direction of the game, which leads us into direction. So from the very beginning, I felt that Strive was a pretty weird game. Now, Strive was designed with a casual audience in mind. This is a lot of people's first Guilty Gear game, which isn't bad. Like, finally, you're understanding that this game series is amazing. but at the same time, they did put that mentality into the gameplay. A lot of these characters, they have lost a lot of their technical aspects when it came to like exert or plus R, but they gained some new ones. Overall, this game is really easy. I feel that every character in this game is super playable. You don't even have to play like a previous Guilty Gear game to be good at this game, like at all. But at the same time, I feel some characters don't follow that philosophy. Like, for example, like characters like Eno, Soul, Chip, they basically have the same game plan as they did in Exert. They're almost the exact same characters, just with like a lot of their more technical aspects like just cut away. They still do the same stuff. Like, I miss Leo's Rekkas, but my game plan is still be in your face, switch you up, mix you up, and just get like easy damage. You don't even know when you lost. The actual technical side of the character, when it came to his Rekkas, everything about like his movement is all gone because they just wanted to make that easier. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that, oh, if you dumb down your game for the casual audience, it's a bad game at all. I feel that that's not the answer to bring in both sides, like the super competitive pros, like sweats, if you will, to like the boom boom baby casuals. Like, I feel that the answer of dumbing down a game, like making it easier, isn't the correct one, but I don't really know how a developer can really balance their game to include both worlds into one. My biggest gripe when it comes to like this philosophy with fighting games is people are gonna get left behind. You can't please everyone. But at the same time, it's like, I don't feel that there has been almost any fighting game in the past that has actually succeeded into teaching your game fully. I still think that Strive kind of messes up on teaching you this game. They have done a better job. And I feel that's where difficulty in fighting games really come from, because the devs haven't really put in an intuitive tutorial system to actually teach you the game. A lot of fighting games may seem hard, but once you actually understand what the hell you're doing, it's like the easiest thing in the world. So it's just the direction of the game is something I have an issue with, and a lot of people are also having an issue with. I know like Leffen tweeted out like, why would you play a hard character? I mean, sometimes that is true. Obviously it's a case-by-case basis, but it's just something that we just have to deal with. Now, the final gripe I have with Strive at the moment, it's possibly for me the biggest one, and it's polish. Now, I could, care less if your favorite character is bad and my favorite character is good, or vice versa. I just want to be able to play the game to even get the chance of having those opinions. So right now, Strive did the amazing super duper big pants big boy play of having rollback netcode, and I appreciate them. I love them for that. I just don't understand why they were dumb enough to make this lobby so horribly trash. I don't get why this lobby is bad as it is. Like, I understand we were never gonna convince Daisuke and his weird brain to like get rid of the ugly like sprite lobby, but to actually make it playable. Like, I hate the fact that whenever I want to go into like either the rank ladder in Celestial or like the park, I want to go into training mode, freshen up. I can't go into training mode in the actual lobbies, because if I don't accept the game after a certain period of time, it kicks me out. I can't use training mode. I have to go offline, be there for X amount of time, and then actually go online. It's like the dumbest thing in the world. I don't get it. It's like, why even have online training mode in the first place? The other issue I have with it is just the lobbies in general, more so the player match lobbies. Like, I feel my heart goes out to all the TOs that are like losing their minds, like running tournaments with like this garbage ass player lobby system. Like, the fact that you have to back out after each game, that way you can still spectate, is kind of dumb. And just the fact that that hasn't been fixed now, like, this isn't even balancing, this is just like fixing your game, is kind of ridiculous and not really acceptable in my eyes. Guilty Gear did a good job with its netcode it's training mode, it's offline content, like you have your, you know, arcade mode, story, all that stuff, collectibles, you can get the music at the Korean OST, please. It's just the fact that everything else online is just bad, and my praises really end at rollback netcode. Like everything about it is really, really rough, and I was hoping we weren't gonna wait until the October update to get some of those bugs fixed, but I guess we're waiting until the October update, and there's no guarantee that those will even get fixed. That's basically it for polish. I wasn't gonna talk about, you know, adding crossplay because that's like a different conversation, and they have said they're working on it, but it's gonna be a while before we see it. That's gonna be the 3 things I think that Guilty Gear is lacking. I know with balance and direction, they're very broad, and I would definitely love y'all's opinion. What are your gripes with Guilty Gear Strive right now? What do you think they should do to improve it? I'd definitely love to hear. Everyone has like a different opinion, which is why I didn't want to like go too deep into it, but obviously we're all smart. We love this game. We understand that it could be in a better place, but we'll see what October brings us. But definitely let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure to give this vid a like, share, and subscribe. Definitely helps out the channel, and appreciate the support. And follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/thespianlive, where yes, we play Guilty Gear. We also complain about Guilty Gear, but we actually kind of break it down, talk about fighting games and just games in general. Who knows? I might just do a stream where I just give y'all free Celestial if you give me Prime Gaming. But okay, that's gonna be it for the vid. I will see y'all on the next one. Take care.